it's not. So, we're back on Limbus Company, and you know what day it is today? The 4th of Walpurgisnacht. Is this video quality worse? Must be some resolution issues. Anyways, lobotomy, ego, some lament, the living and the departed. Sinking, so I was wrong. Of course, it's a sinking ego. Because we need more sinking ego. I gotta remind myself that it's still season 4, not season 5 yet. Alright, Gregor, what do you do? That's the what? 8, 10, 16? He rolls a 16. What the fuck? He rolls a 16 and he rolls a 32. You gotta have a reason to roll that high on your corrosion end, but not on your awakening. I hope I get something. I hope I get something.
이제야 좀 마주볼 만한 눈빛이네. 그래, 난 내 놈의 사냥감이 아니다.
We got discount red mist.
감을 정화하는 대업을.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
피에르야.
자기다. 오늘은 어떤 요리를 해볼까?
와우.
Whatever. Extract again. Okay. All right. Look at the ego. Great. That's literally rarer than any ID. Handsome Gregor Samsa. And I got Angela. Oh my. Yeah, I already got that. Thank you. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. I lost all my lunacy. I lost all my marbles. I lost all my dignity. I didn't get YiSang. It's a bad day overall. But you know what? That's fine. Both of you shut up.
이렇게 잘 길들여진 애고를 본 적이 있나? 이 눈 많은 무기는 남의 것 같지 않단 말이지.
Skullbuster, Serious Skullbuster, Eat and Sleep, SFH. The interior of the containment unit is submerged in utter darkness, without a hint of its walls or ceilings visible to the naked eye. Yet the child confidently strode through the tense, thick, swirling darkness that seemed to oppress the very air itself. The pencil pushers in fancy suits like to lecture us that the instinct work would be most efficient against this one, but tossing them feed from a safe distance is not my style. Instinct work, they pulsate like feebly beating hearts. The white cocoons, each an approximate size of an adult human, hang low to the floor. The child's gaze rises, following the strand that the cocoons descended from, as red eyes light up the ceiling like a midnight forest fire shredding through the dark. Even with this cursed instinct so deeply rooted in your origins, you managed to transcend this drab containment unit into a form of art. Within the shadowy containment unit lies an even darker place, trapped amidst the tightly woven cocoons. Cocoons, oh my god. Cocoons! Attuned in a cell where only the sounds of one's own heartbeat, the skittering noise of tiny spiders and the cold brushing of threads could be heard. Such tragic horror the deceased employees suffered. This painting of hell was enough to sate the child's artistic interest. That's a Hell's Painting reference. Yes, I've never seen art like this so close in my life. Oh, she's a captain.
Or maybe the ones I did see were not worth remembering.
Swarms of baby spiders was already starting to climb up the child's leg. And after crawling to and fro between the child's arms and neck for a while, as though searching for something, they began digging into her flesh with their sharp teeth. Oh, okay. Oh, I can see that. However, the child did not wince or blink even as the painful bites began slowly devouring her, and instead glared straight back at the ominous eyes observing her every move.
I'll admit, this little installation was worth a view, but no more than that. As raw as this piece is, your instinct is far from beautiful up here.
With that, the child slowly raised her leg. A provocation that she was about to crush the baby spiders. The entity's children under her feet.
One does not choose their birth parent, yet they are born with and saddled with the responsibility to live within their bounds. Unless you're merely a pathetic, fallen shell of a thing, you can do nothing but grandstand if you really consider these baby spiders your family. Shouldn't you be attacking me by now?
Spider-Bite and the child exchanged an unblinking glare. After a standoff that felt like an eternity, and only after the work was complete did she pull back her threatening feet. There wasn't an ounce of emotion in her eyes when she looked over the baby spiders.
They seem used to tearing through skin and burrowing into the raw flesh. You've let them feast on my men often, Is that how a mother educates her children?
There's no reply from an abnormality, just as she'd expected. But the child seemed to have decided that it was an answer enough. Or perhaps the child decided that the fault of the parent was not of its children. She carefully pulled the baby spiders, who were still busily chomping away at her flesh, off her body and placed them gently on the ground.
I suppose my question was a waste of breath.
Parents. Fools who can't even stand a moment not spent injecting their children with their own prejudices. When the child left, silence once again rushed into the dark of the containment chamber like water flowing into a void.
You look so miserable that I would be surprised if you were to drop dead at any moment.
The corridor was full of employees from teams other than the safety team that the child was part of. The child seemed to have noticed something after a quick sweep of the hallway. She grabbed her 2 ego weapons.
The rookies are all huddled together. NOV, is it? This is no Night of Violet, by which I presume you're referring to a midnight that we must contend with. It is the noon.
Wow, she's experienced.
What I meant by NOV, are you hard of hearing?
Night of Violet. Noon of Violet.
If it indeed was the noon of Violet you were referring to, then you will be correct. Your men are all gathered abreast one another.
The other child's explanation was cut short by the sudden sensation of something heavy tapping against his head. Well, of course, the child had raised a cross-shaped blunt weapon with a skull emblem on it, and was lightly yet repeatedly smacking the coffin-carrying child's head.
I am not panicked. It is merely that I did not gain the benefit of last night's rest on account of the shortness of my slumber. Thus, would you mind ceasing this continued drumming of my head with your penitence?
Dude, your SP's low. Come on, you need more sleep, man.
Consider yourself lucky that it's not SH that's hitting your head, gloom face.
Spider hammer. Spider butt, it's spider hammer, alright? One could mistake this for a mere workplace banter between 2 co-workers on an average day, but... The rookie employees were all shuddering with fearful anticipation. Clearly something terrible was afoot. Well, she clearly cares for her employees. Not even a minute later, an eardrum-shattering alarm blared all across the building.
We've a DOV in our hands, but this is the level of trumpets we're getting. I would like to repeat myself that this is not an ordeal of midnight, Captain. The ass that you referred to as at noon of TNWIM. In any case, I am suspicious. It's almost like the manager already knows what's coming. You got any guesses? I have none in particular. It may be as simple as mere competency, for I have heard that the manager was as foresighted from the day he started. Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Well, you haven't been in the manager's office, right? He has a counter on the top left over there that signifies which ordeal is going to come.
How unhelpful.
Actually, how did they know that which ordeal is going to appear? The system automatically detect? Did Bina send in the request for ordeals to be released?
Where did all the pencil pushers go?
The child looked around, realizing that there weren't any clerks around. Well, because they're all dead. Indeed, there were none.
All were immediately executed on sight. Certain abnormalities are motivated to breach of containment upon a certain amount of deaths, after all.
What an interesting way to do art. Whoa!
Everybody in the safety team. Training team needs reinforcements, so head over there, please. Try to stay focused, okay? Well, everything goes downhill soon anyway, so it's not like it'll matter in the grand scheme of things, but...
That green tin can with a brain Piccolo and Keflin's prattling again. We're missing 2 men. Are they getting high on Keflin like that GTC?
How did you know? Tiffany, a colleague of ours who recently moved here from the training team, is currently in an unresponsive state due to over-medication.
Oh, she's still alive.
NFW.
The child drops a cigarette, her mouth briefly opening from the exasperation. She stared at the group of safety team agents before turning away and lighting a new one.
What about the other agent? The bald one? It is most likely that they are handling the stele that has fallen within the safety team's premises.
You'd be better off with them. Ignore what the GTC said. He's hopped up to the bottom on E.
Certainly. That is the manager's wish as well.
I'll be the reinforcement for the training team. After confirming the exhausted child's affirmative nod, she began rushing through the hallway at breakneck speed. As soon as she reached the training team area, however, she spoke as if she was answering someone. Enough crying and fussing. It wasn't like there were other employees following her. She wasn't talking to the 2 members of the training team, who were already fighting off the entities either.
There's a big plate of meal waiting just for you. Can't you see?
At those words spoken with a grin, the terrible red eyes all opened wide and began tremoring like a roar. Oh, she is really synchronizing with it.
Oh, these footsteps are Lady Ozith's. Forsooth, these reinforcements from the safety team.
It's Captain Otis, not Lady.
You couldn't have come at a better time.
I just fired my 6th shot. Is anyone else coming with you, Captain of the safety team?
Listen, I'm talking to the will to spill blood, for goodness. We don't need to hold ourselves back with such fancy restrictions just to see some blood and
Busy chatting with her ego, huh? Like her, some employees seem to resonate with certain egos.
Then, perchance we shall be availed the opportunity to see Lady Oroshi's fabled ego dual-wielding?
There's no time to sit here and gawk. Prepare yourself. Moments before we take down the threat, the clever counters will tick down with a flash of light. Bright violet light imbued the stele, just as the training team captain said, but before they even had the time to explode, the child leaped into the air, both of her egos raised high above her head. Movements of her muscles not steeped in training and instinct. Ego-wielding technique not bound by form. While she certainly pales in comparison, her style reminds me of a certain someone. Yes, the one who shielded me then. She who spoke of the pain of the back streets.
Now first.
The child perfectly wields both ego weapons and effortlessly shadows of violate colossal stele to pieces. Perhaps she is quite like her, at least, in this regard. My 3-star identity ticket, yeah. And somehow I got him.
Nay, I have rested well enough. Oft I am summoned for work, yet I despise it not.
Thus, there is no need for you to worry. An invisible bell resounds two pleasant high-pitched rings. The only sounds within the containment unit are the child's voice and the bell. This is in the funeral's containment chamber, yes? You worry that I may be overstraining myself. Perhaps I would say that, were the current workload much worse than usual. Yet it is as burdensome as it has always been. Thus familiar, which in turn makes it rather possible. But the child replies as though he is engaged in mutual conversation with something. It is likely that the abnormality with the head of a butterfly is directly transmitting its voice to this agent. In fact, I find this dialogue rather pleasant. The conversation with you seems to broaden my perspective on things. The abnormality chatting with the child is a rather difficult entity to manage. T0168, also known as Funeral of the Dead Butterflies. This abnormality is rather choosy about which employee gets to manage it. Those with an unjust heart find nothing but a waste of time conversing with it. And those that are rash of heart will quickly find themselves exhausted. That is what makes this child almost the most fitting employee to manage this abnormality. He has an appropriate amount of both a sense of justice and patience, and despite the fact that he is suppressing the abnormality's impulses, he does it through a gentle method of engaging in a mutual dialogue, not by force. Oh, he's doing repression. The abnormality is probably intelligent enough to recognize that it is an attempt to manage it, but it does not allow it to bother him. Whichever was the case, it was rare to find an agent whose mind does not immediately crumble upon conversing with it. The dull sounds of a bell echoes once. Ah, I was merely watching the butterfly resting upon the back of your hand. Those with no place to return, thus are bound to rest upon you. Is that correct? Instead of a bell, the large butterfly atop the abnormality's head slowly flutters its wings. A behavior equivalent to a nod, perhaps. Should you perish, will the butterfly flutter away again? As one sits, only to rise again. There is no easy way to comprehend what this child is saying. It is rather difficult to understand what he means. He should know that death is not a concept applicable to abnormalities. But the clear, almost refreshing sound of the bell conveyed that this work session yielded a positive result. This abnormality quite enjoyed the response, probably. Then I shall take my leave. Until next time, farewell. With that, the child exited the containment unit. He stands there for a moment, gladly enjoying that brief moment of respite. Still trapped in a daydream. Captain Ryoshu. Only to be awoken from his ruminations by the child with a cigarette in her mouth. Captain of a safety team. Treating abnormalities like they're people will only complicate things. Don't make me SIT. I'm only giving it the impression of it. As you are well aware, this abnormality is. At least try to hide your grin when... We don't have time for this. Warning. Dawn of the Violet warning. First warning trumpet activated. All suppression units at each department. Deal descends. Yes, it does. You're coming with me. I don't suppose there is any need for that. The child wields the guns imbued with butterflies and stands back to back with the captain. Things aren't going accordingly to plan. What, pray tell, does in this company? Stay here and hold the line. If you survive but every single containment unit of this department falls, I'll kill you myself, got that? That is a manner of death I would very much prefer to avoid. The child mutters with an exasperated frown while the butterfly guns continue to blast from his guns. He'd grown into a very skilled employee over his time here, enough so that he could exchange a few banters with his colleagues as he engaged in combat. Will you not assist, Captain? I'm heading to visit the information team to pick out the bullets they moved from the middle layer. The bullets, I see. The bullets must be the shield-type bullets the manager and Sephiroth fired to protect us then. I prefer the bullet that bursts everything it touches. Isn't there true beauty in blasting an annoying coworker's head apart?
but I suppose the useful ones get to live. The control team captain ordered her men to move the bullet stock from the middle to the upper layer for some information training purposes, she says. Ah, is it Captain Faust of whom you speak? Then the training cannot have been here for a purpose, only an excuse to ensure we have access to the bullets. As that level of preparation appears rather unnecessary for ordeals of dawn. Evidently, a calamity of greater magnitude is nigh to unfold. It'll be a waste to use the bursting bullets on someone useful like you. I've heard tale that the Sephra in charge of Captain Faust's department maintains quite a dangerously high standard for her subordinates. Testing, can you hear me, upper layer employees? I will be in charge of the operations for this ordeal, so please follow my directions. She can try to come up with something airtight, but she's not smart enough for that. The captain must have prepared those countermeasures for such emergencies. Ah, yet the more complicated the structure of a thing is, the greater room it is for holes to go unnoticed. And I mean all of you, training team, information team, and safety team. I know that our employees can handle this. Suppose she's not lying, considering that an employee who can't handle is no employee at all in her eyes. With that, the captain spun around and disappeared into the other side of the hallway. Left alone, the child turns the muzzles of his handguns toward the violet creatures. Roots of understanding. Have you not lost your ways? He carries out his duty, firing butterflies as lost to his foes. I warn you, bloom and be the path for one another to follow. In solemn silence.
Let's see. You and you. That's it. I don't need anyone else.
와일드 헌트야.
Wild hunter, yeah. Wild hunter. Alright, there's a yes, Faust. I looked up toward Faust, away from the PDA in my hands, as it rattled and fixed the identity cards into each slot. Today's the 4th Walpurgisnacht. The location, it's that same lobotomy corp headquarters of the past we visited. Its point in time and branch of possibility uncertain. We're in the information department.
Thank you. Please proceed with the slotted identities to suppress the imminent ordeal.
You. A slot in the lobotomy corp identities I pulled up during the previous Walpurgisnights. Boss probably wants to study the correlation between Walpurgisnacht itself and the identities that can be pulled up only during each Walpurgisnacht. Well, that ain't much more business, but what identity we're supposed to wear, but... bruh. Aren't you at least bother telling us where we are? I swear, it's always you two who...
Yeah, I agree. We won't know what to do if you keep the important stuff just between the two of you, right?
Yeah, what he said. Was trying to find a way to avoid sounding irritated. You have a way of mincing words, don't you? Thanks, lad.
Huh? I guess.
F you. Fuck you.
Functionality upgrade? Come on, don't talk about me like I'm a machine or something.
Faust cleared her throat in an attempt to clear the air and stem the conversation from going on a tangent.
We are at the information team department of the former L Corp headquarters. Information team? Well, I do recall. The place that we had visited was called the control team department.
Maybe they add a new department with every Walpurgisnacht?
The training team and the safety team, both adjacent to this department, are currently accessible. Therefore, your assessment is untrue. However, it is possible that there is a reason the first place...
What? There's a reason the first place the door... Okay.
There's a reason the first place the door connected to was this location. Perhaps further analyses may yield more concrete information.
She's trying to take a more active role in learning things for herself. Seems that events at the warp train rattled her more than I thought. She's probably concerned that similar laws of connection to that repository of Faust's knowledge may occur again.
This place is pretty barren, huh? The more I look around, the more I see just purple.
Ah, you got that right. Can't chalk that up to being just a corporate office if you ask me. Doesn't seem like a great workplace environment at all.
A good commander decorates their subordinates' living spaces with their morale in mind, even if it means going against their own tastes. Whoever had
Heads of the department must be somewhat quite unfit to lead.
Shut up. I bet they're not even the only one who's unfit to lead. Ishmael, who was rummaging through a pile of miscellaneous items, muttered from a distance as Otis mused at the ceiling. Oh? Do we get souvenirs? I found some employee doodles and scribbles back here. Oh, I suppose the department leads were called Sephora. They're saying something about how their Sephora is... Ew, that's some spicy profanity.
I will read them.
Mr. You don't have to read the insults and profanities.
Understood. In that case, I will instead peruse the document first and produce a comprehensive summary.
Sometime later.
That is all.
Okay, so first of all, thanks for skipping past the profanities, but...
Wow, that made me feel bad. I've got nothing to do with this place. It is not uncommon to see department leads shouting and butting heads, but... perhaps a physical altercation would have been preferable to letting such bitter and animosity fester like this.
It was clear to us that the Sephiroth did not share a very healthy work relationship with one another. This is before their meltdowns. So it makes sense. They still haven't reconciled with each other. They still haven't gotten their memories back. Not to mention that not many employees really put their faith in their Sephiroth.
Hey, the Sephiroth they call Malkut.
Well, cute.
She must have been the Sephiroth, the control team department where we fought the ordeal last time. I can tell from the way she talks that she treats her employees like parts of a machine, driving them to the depths, replacing them when they inevitably crumble. I guess a wing is a wing after all. Yeah, look, here's a conversation with Hod, Sephiroth the training team. Looks like she started out pretty rough, but managed to avoid making things hostile in the office. From the sounds of it, she really cares for her employees. Oh well, that's a whole nother type of annoying though, you know? Then, her heart would never have rested easy as long as she was here. The grievances of the employees would have reached her ears nonetheless. She may have given herself doses of painkillers she hid under the label of altruism, but she truly cared for them despite it all. And this, yes, Hod, must have been... I see, the Sephiroth Information Team department here. Clearly a stickler for the rules. Viper, he was called. Perchance he had an unsavory habit of sinking his teeth into his employees. It's only unfigurous speech. He does seem like the irritating type, but he would have served as a decent strategist. This appears to be a meticulous record of the work schedules. According to that digital calendar, the upcoming schedule is... Fast approaching. There is no time to share the details regarding your deal. I suppose we should have checked the documents first. Every thump of the lights follows Otis' deep sigh. The lobby lights suddenly changed and the floor began to tremble. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. We knew that an ordeal was coming after all. Still, I wish we had some prior knowledge of our enemies this time. Yeah, what in the name of the wings is that creature? Vermin, is it? 'Tis so far yet a pair so grand in size. They're rats. Rats! Naturally, we whipped around to look at Don Quixote with a direct our attention towards something writhing in the distance. A thing of bizarre shape, crawling and squirming. If they have appeared in the safety team's corridors as well, then... There's more. There's more! Fast. Anything you can tell us about them before they start rushing us? I shouted, watching with horror as a curiously violet grub-like creature slowly spawned into the hallway from thin air. Even though she probably didn't have much to tell me about them anyway. They will not rush us. There were reports that these entities are rather slow. In fact, they're an ordeal of violet. Time dawn. If they are indeed violet, then it is unlikely that we will have much time to discuss this further. We must immediately engage in them, starting from the safety team hallway. A similar situation is very likely imminent in the information team and the training team hallways.
So what? We gotta crush them like there's a timer or something?
That would be an apt aptitude, yes. The entities will soon be manifesting in every department. If we fail to quickly clear this zone and seek to destroy them in other departments. If we don't, then we may come face to face with the kind of pandemonium we would rather not have the displeasure of experiencing. Every cliff encounter, each department immediately dropped to zero.
Thus, the abnormalities contained within shall be released. Oh, bollocks, come on, we just got off that bloody warp train. I think we've had enough time to wing shenanigans to deal with by now. Yeah, zip it up and grab your weapon. I'm going in. Whoa, fruit of understanding. To gain an understanding that is incomprehensible, then shut the hell up. Wow, that was quick.
지금이다. 해골 바가지 거미 대가리.
It's only the second turn and she got her conditions fulfilled.
아차! 내 죄는 내가 알아서 처리한다. 해.
This is going to be a long.
먹기 좋게 찾아잡지 않나. 겉에.
비명을 질러라.
Okay, we're done. Oh, we're on training. Grant us love. That fast? Is the manager speed running or what? Oh shit. Sometime later. Phew, that's a relief. At least it wasn't indestructible. A rubble broken stones lay about the exhausted sinner's feet. But that didn't last long. I see. It fades away to not. It fades away to naught. Yes, while the entity took the form of a stone stele, an object commonly composed of inorganic material, it is likely that its existence is perceived as a religious artifact in certain indeterminate locales. Yeah, duh. True. That giant object did suddenly appear out of thin air before dropping right in front of us. The stele which had once threatened the sinners with its tentacles soon disappeared from our sight like it never existed. What? What the hell happened? If Faust hadn't pushed me into the hallway just in time, I'd have been... Dante. We would have all died forever if that thing had crushed me too. We were not crushed by the stele, to be exact. The real issue was that shockwave that came after the crash. I thought I slipped away in time, but I had no idea the shockwave would be so deadly. We were going to find a way to deal with that shockwave somehow, or it'll be too risky to continue with our Walpurgisnacht expedition. I'm not saying that I'm scared of the pain I have got to go through when I'm reviving the sinners, which really hurts, of course, especially when it's 12-fold, but I'm not sure if I want to ask them to repeatedly run a mission that's guaranteed to kill them in the end. Moreover, we don't even know if whatever we'll find here will be worth all the trouble. According to the information given, it is said that ordeals cannot occur in immediate succession. They can't occur right after one another? What, their giant piece of rock have nothing to do with an ordeal then? Yes, it was indeed an ordeal of Violet. However, this was a noon of Violet. Ordeals of the noon are a degree higher than ordeals of the dawn, which we already have experience with. Whilst brows were frowning at a nigh imperceptible angle, she was sighing even as she relayed the information to us, clearly perturbed by something. Wow, she's finally showing emotion. I suddenly recall what Faust speculated back at the warp train, that the Jezreel shaft may have made a purposeful mission. Do you think this is the Jezreel shaft withholding information from you again? There is no evidence to say for certain. They do not withhold information regarding the ordeal of noon. Thus, a more likely explanation is that this was merely a manifestation of a rare possibility. Yet your suggestion does not concern me. If it was indeed a manifestation of a rare possibility, then we must seek for clues in this Walpurgisnacht even that may point us to an explanation. So, should we explore further? What? Hello everyone, can you hear me? Oh. God, that voice. A loud buzz, crackle, and unfamiliar voice broke the awkward silence we were meandering in. Blimey, who said that? Oh, I hearken unto thee. I guess I can't hear your answers anyway. Ignore what I just said. Hello, this is Hod from training team speaking.
It appears that the Sephra Hod, whose name we first learned in the earlier documents, is the one speaking to us.
So this is a voice, huh? Gotta say, it's kind of what we all expected her to sound, right? We are all investigating how and why an ordeal of noon occurred immediately after the dawn.
I understand that an unfamiliar situation like this may cause a sense of alarm and anxiety, but there's nothing to worry about as long as you remember the instructions under the exception number 40 AA measure, which I made sure to mention every training session.
Exception 40 AA? Just how many exceptions did she come up with? She must be a leader with a very hands-on approach to team management. Managers who are overprotective of their personnel often make such mistakes. Guys, I don't think it's time to share our first expressions. We don't know what measure she's talking about. At this rate, we'll get... Oh. There's a dull thwick just as Sinclair began to air his concerns.
Did I just get shot? You there, at the lobby. You've been dozing off during our drills, haven't you? I'm pretty sure I explained that in outlier cases like these, we'll be firing physical intervention shield bullets we share with the middle layer. So why are you acting all surprised like you've never been shot before? Shield bullets?
Huh, that bullet does look kind of familiar, actually. Yeah, it's been made from K-Corp, though. I carefully approached Sinclair to take a closer look where the projectile hit him. Oh hey, I recognize this. Looks like just like the decay ampule. It almost melted me into the puddle back at K-Corp. Ugh, I'm getting unpleasant goosebumps just with thinking about it.
You were totally badass though, Ishi. Jumping right in front of Dante, taking the bullets for them and everything.
Oh, she went ahead and hurled a bully harpoon and poke its shoulder on herself only a few months later.
Like a good circular narrative structure. Okay, you smartasses. It is not a K-Corp ampule. While it is true that K-Corp's technology was used to regenerate employees, a barrier field like this is fundamentally differs from the technology used by K-Corp. It is said that Lobotomy Corporation maintained collaborative relationships with other wings, including K-Corp. Though the set of collaborations, they obtained bullets and ampules of diverse functionalities useful for workings of this company. It appears that this shield bullet is a result of one such partnership. Wait, then this bullet will... It is said that this bullet can partially negate physical damage, which is also known as red damage in Lobotomy Corporation terminology. It will likely shield us from the shockwave created by the stele as well. We'll have a counseling session later about your lack of focus during training. For now, please try to suppress this ordeal of noon as soon as possible. I'll give everyone a physical intervention shield, so let's try to take care of this ordeal with as few casualties as possible. Dante, let us.
Oh, right, let's get a move on and deal with the other steles as well.
Indeed, it would be preferable if we returned after confirming the destruction of the steles in other areas as well. We will have to visit the Lobotomy Corporation headquarters of the different possibilities as well. We will make use of the Sephora and the shield as soon as we are able then.
Good idea. Thanks to unexpected support from a Sephora, we were able to explore further through the Walpurgisnacht.
All those trainings were for their own good. Is that so hard to understand?
It's just that. I couldn't help but think back to Hod's last few utterances that managed to slip through the static. It made me wonder what really went down here, at the headquarters of Lobotomy Corporation. Oh, we turn to the training team hallways again. According to work education manual, we're going to need the physical intervention shield to survive during the violet shockwave. We hold together in the hallway, remembering what Hod the Sephora training told us. It wasn't long before the same bullets from earlier struck us. Red barriers began formed around the sinners who were struck by the bullets. Yep, they even got a single bullet targeting multiple employees. Employees trick.
Let's see. According...
Who's talking?
You have some time at...
Okay. One of the sinners knows an emergency response manual posted on the hallway walls. Under my instructions how to use the console installed in the hallway to activate regenerator system connect to the safety team. Seems like it would be worth a try. We heard we might be able to activate the regenerator before noon arrives. We'll activate the regenerators. I don't know. Send Ryoshu in. Ryoshu's face light up as they read the manual. Announcement lets us know that the regenerator distinguisher has been modified, reactivating most functionalities of the regenerator. Physical intervention shield activated. All allies heal 3 HP every turn. Allies heal at 3 SP every turn.
애착을 갖고 들여다볼 가치가 있는 예술이었다.
Looks like we can restore one of the deactivated system of the safety team apart from basic functionalities of regenerator. Which one should we reactivate? Regenerator Mark II or Mental Corruption Neutralizing Gas? HP, baby. Can feel the sinners rapidly regenerating. It didn't just regenerate our wounds, it healed their fatigue or minor injuries as well. All allies heal 30 SP. Go boom! Bloody tentacle monsters, mate. God damn.
목을 내놓고 있도록.
지금이다. 해골 바가지 거미 대가리.
가둘 수 없다면 직접 후회를 새겨주지.
Oh shit! What is this? Unclashable crushing arms of rest. Okay, alright.
Stop.
Oh my god! Oh, Jesus Christ. Damn, this guy's hard. Bruh, here we go again. After our unmanageable defeat, we have now red shield's broken. Alright, so we're on wave 10 out of 99. Yeah, so basically on the third or the fourth turn, this guy is going to basically being a piece of shit, be a piece of shit and just do the unclashable attack, and if we don't stagger the body, we die. Yeah, basically that.
직접 후회를 새겨주지. 이 속에서
저희 직원들이 개체의 부위를 파괴했어요.
지금이다. 해골 바가지 거미 대가리. 자!
Alright, good, we staggered it. Now we don't have to worry about anything else.
개체의 부위가 파괴되어 있어요.
Yep, just do damage. Just do damage.
직원들의 피해를 줄일 수 있을 거예요, 관리자님.
으타! 먹어 치워라. 탈출 개체가 전환됐습니다.
Finally! 3 retries that did take. Damn. Just blast away.
나아가주게. 편히 쉬시게. 잠든 그대를 기릴 테니.
Shame.
작업은 옳지 않았소. 나아가주게. 편히 쉬시게.
저희 직원들이 개체의 부위를 파괴했어요. 역시 미리 훈련하길 잘했죠?
편히 쉬시게.
Oh my god, goodbye. Goodbye.
잠든 그대를 기릴 테니.
Yeah, this YiSang ID is vastly superior to Ryoshu's. Oh my god.
죽어 떠난 자에 대한 축하를.
Oh hey, thanks.